Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Spirit Hunters Infinite Horde, The Trials of Magnus. Today we will be taking another look at some of his weapons. Back to a starter weapon. That's right, we're going to the spears. I think this is one of his worst synergies, just so you know. The only thing worse, obviously, is the shurikens, which I, played on the wrong version of the map. I made it a little bit harder on myself. Had they not had the increased movement speed, I think I would have been fine. And I don't have the increased movement speed with the spears. So I do want to just make this nice and chill. This should not be bad, but 30% chance to gain one single hit point on cast. Now, it doesn't sound bad because it's a decent chance, 30%, right? But one hit point on cast with the spears, and the spears are incredibly slow. They are one of the slowest weapons, I think, in the game. So, let's see if we can find out what their actual cooldown is. Probably not going to get it. I'm in, the worst position. You want to get your weapons before you start doing these rerolls. So let's actually stop there. Let's take our boss killer. I am going with shurikens. I was thinking about going with bones as the official boss killer. But the more I thought about it, the more I actually realized that no, bones, when they're fully upgraded, is actually too much protection for the, try to die. I don't want bones to be basically just perma protection against any large enemy. And there we go. We're at 3.2 speed. We're going to go down to 1.2. Now, 1.2 speed. Think about that. That is a 30% chance to gain one hit point every 1.2 seconds. So you're looking at an average of 3 1/3 casts. So a third of a cast is 0.4 seconds. So 3 casts, you're looking at 3.6 seconds, and then a third of a cast on top of that will be another 0.4. So one hit point every 4 seconds on average. Where when you look at, say, Arrow, which was a 20% chance for one hit point, you're looking at 1 second. Bone, which is a 5% chance, I believe, you're looking at 2 seconds. So yeah. Or maybe bone was 10% and it's still 1 second. I should have written it down. And I apologize for that. That was my fault. So I apologize there. However, I think that's the point that I'm trying to make. Is just that it is ridiculous how inefficient the spears one is. Now, that being said, inefficient, one every 4 seconds. That's, 15 health a minute, So we are going to still gain 225 health. Well, okay, we're not going to gain 225 health because we're not going to be at max speed. Blah, 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 blah. All of those fun little things. But it's still going to be a decent bit of health. And again, the spears being a starter weapon, they actually are some of the better weapons. I mean, I think the starter weapons are generally your best horde weapons for the most part. You can make an argument probably for, I wouldn't say Grand Hex is one of the best, but it is my favorite. And when it is at max, it is pretty good at clearing hordes, I will say. What other, Tornado, Twister, whichever it's called. I know one is one and one is the other. That's also a very good weapon as well for clearing hordes. It doesn't do much damage. You can't increase its damage. But it does enough to kill the little enemies. So that is actually pretty substantial as well. And what am I doing? I need to start taking some damage. What am I thinking about? Let's just body into some things if we can. There we go. We got spears coming. Not doing too terrible. We have plenty of money. And by that, I mean plenty for what we need. I mean, we don't need anything. I can just go into the shop. I'm going to try and get some boxes. Maybe we'll get to 400. That'll be plenty, actually. If we get to 400, maybe we can get a mag slime. So there's a box there. There were a couple to the right. Is there a chance? No. Just some boxes. That's fine. getting hearts. There's a chest. This should get us to the 400 limit, and that 400 will happily be potential mag slime. And who doesn't love a mag slime, especially on any character? Vivian, not excluded. Again, it is very nice on Vivian. It's just not actually required on Vivian. I will never... I don't prioritize it like I do with other characters, so... Well, we're doing pretty good. I want to reroll right there, but we're not gonna. We're just gonna take things as they are, kill all of these little flies, get some more spear size. That'll help clear things out even more. Fantastic. And yes, we do need to make our way back to the shop, just in case. Just in case. Spears, again, I think spears have a drop-off point in the game. They are early on, I think, one of the best weapons because they get a very early damage increase. They have good crowd control capabilities, and they're also good at sniping the larger enemies. But that being said, you know, they're so random that it can hurt. I mean, I've literally had an enemy standing on top of me, and the spears didn't kill it. And it's just like, okay, that's, you know, I'm not saying, I don't know, I feel like it should hit the closest out. You know, every spear hits the closest out. That would make sure that if there's something literally on your butt, well, the spears are there to kill it. That's their job. They're, you know, that's what they do. So, and as you see right here, there's hordes. They have AoE. So each spear could probably kill large portions of this, but they all came together on the same spot, essentially. We're doing, again, there was a health gain. Huzzah. Calling it out. There was another one. So maybe it is, 30% is pretty good. Let's see. Are we going to get another? There is a third. So, you know, right now it's seeming more like maybe 50% or so. I mean, I think that was another one. So maybe the percentage is a lie. Maybe I'm just getting very, very lucky. Because if the percentage is higher, and say it was, you know, 50 or 60%, you know, 70% or something, that would at least make it usable and useful. So, if you did not see in my last video, this boss right there, the one with the lovely sandcastle on his head, that boss is getting the area of attack moves. It will be summoning sandcastles out of the ground, and they will be swarming you, which is very fantastic. It's very cool. I do like all the little features that they're adding to the bosses and things like that. There's loads of new enemies. There was a screenshot that came up today, today being Saturday. I'm actually not pre-recording this for once. There was an image. Let's see, what do we got? We got a damage. Why not? We'll take it. I'll take a damage. There was an image of one of the devs doing the hard mode of one of the graveyard maps. It is one of the new maps, or the new graveyard map, I believe. And it was very cool. I mean, there were loads of new enemies. He was getting swamped. You know, he was saying it was very difficult. So I am looking forward to the challenge. It looked like he had cleave. He was playing with the new character Hugo as well. The one thing that I am not sure about, so it did look like he had cleave. It looked like he was pretty far in. However, what was interesting to me was his cleave was very, very small. Now, is that because he wasn't upgrading cleave? Possibly, you know, maybe he was testing out some of the other features. It is also possible, because I know this was far further in, because I saw like a 97 damage crit or something along those lines. Actually, crits can't be 97 damage. Probably 96 damage, I guess, you know, because it has to be a multiple of 3. But, you know, it was something along those lines, so it had to have been far enough where, you know, your damage was high and you were critting, because there were crits all over the place. But why was cleave, like, it was small. Like, if we're looking on the screen right here, like where the orbital fire is, just double that distance, maybe triple it. Probably not triple it, no. Tripling is too far. It was probably out to like where my mouse is now, about one, two, a little bit over two. That was the cleave size. So, you know, it's quite possible that the cleave reign is finally ending. Not in a bad way. It is definitely a wonderful thing. We're almost done with cooldown, which is fantastic. We have decent damage, so let's keep going for the spears. Again, the spears are our main weapon. I do want to get a few more levels in the shuriken, but we have plenty of time for that. Let's max out these spears. We got time for everything, you know. I think the last run where we started avoiding pretty much everything, we got to level 69. So I think we'll be able to get to very similar results, which will get us all we need. You don't need to go crazy. I think we probably will even get past that because we are focusing on a weapon that actually has AoE potential. As you can see, I'm just walking into things and stuff's just dying, which is nice. You know, you always just want stuff to die. It's almost like that's the point of the game. Oh my gosh. Well, what do you know? But, yeah, more AoE size. Who doesn't like more area? These spears are quite nice, you know. They're not the biggest. We have seen bigger on other characters, but that's fine. You know, it's not the size of the spear. It's it's just how much they poke, and we're doing pretty good there. Even bigger. There we go. Let's actually get some more damage though. We need these spears to actually start within 2 hits or so to hopefully kill these shells. The shells are the worst. These shell crawlers. They are just numerous. And these are the enemies that effectively killed my other run as well. So that is another reason I hate them. Well, not hate. Hate is a strong word. I approve of their design because they are very annoying. And with the 30% movement speed, they are actually a threat. So, as you can see, the spears not killing. Like, there was literally a fire enemy right there. You can see him just behind this area banner. And all the spears went up to the top and around, and not one hit that one. How did that one, which is literally right next to me, you know, it was getting pushed back afterwards because of the level up knockback, but it was next to me at the time. How did that... See, look at this. They're all next to me, and the spears are all the way up. Oh. Whoa, okay, that is not what I was expecting. That was a lot of damage. You know what, I'm going to keep this in, and I'm just going to keep going, and I'm just going to do it again. Please, fast forward if you want. You know, I'm just gonna talk about random stuff. I'm going to do this again, because I was not expecting to take that much damage that fast. That was... You know, I would have moved. I was literally just taking damage because I was like, I can take damage. It's not a problem. So that was my fault. That was silly. I was not expecting to lose, like, all of my health in, like, 3 seconds. Apparently, good to know that multiple enemies hitting you at the same time do stack or multiply damage. I don't even know how it worked. So I am quite impressed with that. We're going to do essentially the exact same run, at least weapon-wise. You know, I want to get Grand Hex, I want to get Shadow Shurikens, and yes, I'll probably even still get the final one. I actually should be getting more spear stuff. We haven't seen any spear cooldowns, as is tradition, so no problem there. Number, perfect. Hit us down. See, like right here, and then boom. Look at that. So that is very, very good to know. I've never actually really let myself get surrounded that badly. I mean, that was just 2 hits. We were chunked. So okay, that's fun. I'm on board with that. Let's start leveling up, and those levels will very happily get us some life. Spears, in theory, will eventually get us some life. Again, we do not have the cooldown quite yet. And as you can see, boom, got one. Spears, You saved my life right there. In that moment, the spears came through. That is what is important. Let's just keep looking. We want to get a last weapon. You know what? Let's just take vines. I just want the last weapon out of the pool, so it is slightly different. We now have vines, which actually will be quite nice. I am very pleased to have vines at all times. But yes, that boss is one of the annoying ones. They explode. When they explode, they don't drop a chest. When they don't drop a chest, bad times for all. It's, I don't know. I haven't actually heard if that is a feature that will be changing. So let's see. So they hit me for like 6, but when there's 2 or 3 on me, they just chunk my HP. So, ooh, there's the other boss. Fantastic. Again, I'm keeping my health low, but actually surviving this time. I believe we do have the increased speed as well, which is why all of these enemies are so persistent, let's say. So, we are not going to have the best of times. I think it will be... I will be more conscious of it this time than I was in the last run, and be in the... shuriken video. Yeah, shurikens. You're so good. You're so good at not doing anything for Magnus. Oh, it's the best thing about him. I just find it hilarious. I mean, I guess that this is an early build, and I mean, would they want to say on cast, because its cast time is very, very slow, so that doesn't seem good unless it's like 20 HP chance for cast, or guaranteed 5 HP on cast, which actually would be very, very solid, or something like that. Maybe guaranteed 4, because you can get it down to 3.6 speed, something along those lines. That would put it in line with pretty much everything else. That is definitely a possibility I could see, but would you want on kill hearts? I personally wouldn't want to see that one. It's so random. It will probably be killing stuff in a direction that you don't want it. Granted, at the same time, so does vines. Just because it comes out and kills stuff doesn't mean you want to go in that direction. Perfectly fine there, though. Perfectly fine. We'll stick with damage for now. We want to actually kill things. We've been having a little bit of trouble with that, and we're going to keep our HP a little bit higher, not too much. Again, I want to be low, but now, especially with the surrounds, I am a little wary. I am a little sad by that. I don't like to be wary. I just like to mess around, and the problem is, when you're not trying to die, you can mess around all you want, and you're just running around things. You're just jumping. Oh, look at that! Look at that damage! Oh. All right, let's survive. Whew. All right, we're just going to survival. I am done being bad here. Where am I? Maybe I'm not. There we go. There we go. Let's... Bing! Ooh, that's going to be a good Grand Hex right there. I'm being very greedy for this experience, but at the same time, don't forget, experience is health for Magnus. So we just gained up a whole slew of life strictly from leveling, which is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I cannot stress the importance of leveling with Magnus when you're low. We will grab that in a second. Just want to make sure those don't disappear. And beautiful as well. More cooldown. Get me some health spears, please, 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 please. I don't care how much you get me. Just keep it coming. I did just get another one, so that is fantastic. We have them coming. Grand Hex, you failed me there. You failed me, Grand Hex. But that's okay. We got the hearts. We got the life. We got all the experience in the world up here. Another level. And I think we are definitely out of the danger zone. But that doesn't mean much right now, because this level is very, very big on the surrounds. And that is exactly how I died. Again, it's been a long time since I haven't had some form of clear protection type thing. So, just seeing that massive spike in damage, kind of neat, actually. Kind of neat. That makes this 30% move speed mode that much more dangerous, which, you know, to me is a little not sad, because I love the mode, I love the move speed for the character. The only thing that kind of upsets me is that it's just so much more difficult than the others that I don't understand its purpose if it doesn't give you higher rewards. Because you're literally... I mean, I guess you can say you have the potential to increase the amount of... no moon mummy. No moon mummy. Stop it. Okay. You have the... to increase the potential amount of chests that you open and mines that you hit. But really, that's it, you know? And I mean, I guess if they say, hey, it increases the blue shards and the purple shards, it's not that big, but it makes sense, you know? It makes sense to have a greater reward for increasing the difficulty further. Same thing, the one where you get increased mine speed, which I will never play with. I will never choose that. I'm sorry. It is not the hardest one. It's not even the easiest one. It's the mid one, because the one that gives you 10% more experience, that is the easiest one, which I did just die on, so, you know, you can mess around quite enough. But, that being said, that's the easiest one, because it's the same detriment as to opening, as they get 10% move speed, I believe, for both. But you get to open mines faster, which effectively does nothing. Whereas getting 10% more experience, well, that's 10% more experience. I will take that. That is useful, and definitely makes things easier. Let's hopefully get our mag slime. We'll get that. We'll even get a Rupert. Get more money in the bank for us. Fantastic. So this will help at least pick up the experience. And when we pick up the experience, that is life. Experience is life. But I think one thing that this really, really highlights for me, between this run and the last, is just how ineffective spears are at dealing with the hordes. I mean, if you look at every other starter weapon, right? Because the spears were maxed cooldown. I mean, they were close to max AoE, if not maxed. Their damage was fine to kill anything. They had at least, like, 15 number, I think, something like that. The number was pretty high at the end of the previous stint. So the hordes were destroying us. Now you look at Cleave. I mean, no contest. It's Cleave. Enough said. You look at Arrow. Again, every 0.2 seconds you fire in a direction. You can kill hordes infinitely. A maxed out orbital fire, yeah, that's gonna destroy hordes as well. Literally, you can stand still and you are invincible, essentially, from hordes at max level. Especially if they don't have the move speed, which they didn't. So spears are so random and so, I don't want to say ineffective, but they kind of are, where, you know, there will be enemies directly on top of you and spears will not hit them. Now, if there are other enemies, if there are no other enemies in range, of course it will hit them. You know, so it's not like spears can't hit on top of you. They just tend to not choose. They tend to choose to not hit on top of you, and that is the problem. So yes, that's my little rant on the spears. I am going to take... Look at that. Half of my health, essentially, in one hit. I wanted to get one big hit just to see how it goes, and that was half of my health! And look at this! Spears not saving me at all. What saved me more? Grand Hex to my right here. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's survive this mode. This is where we died, so this is where I want to survive, and I think we made it. We're not completely out of the woods, blah, 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 but we're doing pretty good now. Thankfully, all the spears hit the boss, because that's what they can do, and we'll basically one-shot the boss. We got his chest. We got some hearts. Ooh, 3 hearts from the chest, too. Let's get past here, pick up all of this lost experience. Whew, didn't want that to go to waste. And as you can see, we're in a good spot yet again. Our shurikens are doing pretty good. Our spears were actually a much higher level than last time, so I think. Maybe they weren't. Oh no, maybe they weren't that strong. But their cooldown was definitely maxed, which ours currently is not. So that is something to note. But yeah, I mean, spears, they just... It's like they have a job, and they really want to do the job, but they just can't. They are just not the best at it. They're a great support. You know, you have another weapon. Hey, spears will clean up all the little things that you miss. It will just snipe things randomly. It can get to decent damage. You know, it destroyed that boss. So they're not bad. Don't get me wrong. But they are not main weapon potential. Especially with this synergy. This synergy is not the health gain that Magnus needs. It is health gain. Like there, boom, just got one. Let's see. 3, 4, 5. We got one. The next one in 5 casts. There we go. Oh, all right. Let's run through a few. Yeah, let's get some more damage. That's fine. That should kill these in one hit, which they was already doing, but you know, their HP, I believe, does increase every minute, so I do want to make sure that keeps up with it. So yeah, sorry for everything, guys. The spears are just, I don't know. I'm not going to be using them very, very much. Now, if people want to see me use spears more, I'm happy to. You know, I don't like the weapon, but, you know, I think, again, every weapon has a purpose. I think building spears along with a certain build is a great help. Again, if I was doing spears and orbital fire, I think that would be huge. Honestly, I think that could take care of the boss as well. I wouldn't even need the shuriken. Spears and orbital fire, you max out the dot, get hoodoo, which we have seen in the shop already, I believe, so we could have had hoodoo. Between that and the spears, I do believe you would be able to kill the boss no problem. Especially after the change. The change is going to really fix everything, where all rerolls are 100 gold. Gonna love that. And then on top of that, the boss cage never shrinks. Ooh, boss cage never shrinking. That's... it's almost, you know, can you survive? Because the bosses will have new abilities, so I am curious how that affects things. Because as of right now, should the boss cage never shrink? Well, that's essentially just saying you can now basically beat every boss. Because, you know, they're not very complex right now, but they will be. And that's the beauty of it. Alright, let's run into some mummies. Hey, our final cooldown! Look at that! Oh, it happened. We finally got a cooldown. It is time. Oh, surprise, surprise. Happy days, happy days. It only took us 11, almost 12 minutes into the run. And you can see, again, the spears are doing pretty good, but not as good as they should. I'm trying to see. The problem is they're streaming in now at, like, just the exact rate. Oh, look at I can't tell. I don't know. The problem is there's enough spears that spears are basically handling everything, which is, don't get me wrong, that's what you want them to do, of course. Um, but you know, with 14 spears, we could get another one. I think I'm gonna work on the shurikens a bit more just to make sure the boss does go down. I'm not super worried right now. I think it's gonna be perfectly fine. But, one more spear at this point is not going to make or break anything. We got the cooldown. Its damage is pretty good, not perfect. Its AoE is pretty good, not perfect. But at the same time, AoE, when you're completely surrounded, you would think would be the best. The problem is the spears do not retarget based off of the AoE of other spears. And that is a problem. If when you have like maxed out AoE, you walked into a group of enemies and you saw a circle of spears around you, because every spear was giving the other spear like radius, and it destroyed like the entire screen because there were 15 max spears everywhere, that would be beautiful. But it really doesn't. A lot of times when you're completely surrounded, you'll see just a clump of spears all hitting this one group of enemies. It doesn't like mass spread, which, that's what gets you killed. So, there we go. We did get the final number in the end. And again, we're 68, which is great. We did have the bonus 10% experience, basically from the get-go, which is nice. So we did hit a pretty decent level. I am going to start the survival train, though. I want to get to the boss. I don't want to die. I don't want anything bad to happen to me. So let's get some experience while we can. Try and level. I would love to get that. There we go. But yeah, we're in a good state. The boss shouldn't be too much of a problem. Don't have a money for a reroll, unfortunately. We have to get some vines. What vines do you take? Again, especially if you don't have points in it, go with number to start. You want a decent amount of vines. You don't want too many. I've said this multiple times. You don't want too many vines. There's no purpose to it. You will never get to the end of your trail, and it's not like that is actually going to help you. So definitely get a few, not too many, and then just go for area. The dot, you're not using vines for the dot at all. There's essentially no point to the vines dot if you are not actively leveling it up to max. It's nice to have. It will kill things, don't get me wrong, but if you're only going to put like 2 or 3 points into vines, I'm saying, because it's it's a weapon I have, it's a weapon I don't care about, which is important to do. You want weapons that you have, you want weapons that you don't care about, because those weapons are the ones that allow you to empower your other ones. For now, again, come the patch, they do want to change that. They do not want you to say, I have weapon A and this is all I need. So that is very good to hear. Definitely glad for that. We will stick with the shurikens because we want to get that to a bit higher. But look at this. I mean, we are escaping everything. We have the health. We have the everything. I am sad at myself that I did die earlier, but I have never seen just that much damage that quickly before. So while I was trying to be bad in other series, I always had weapons that sort of killed a lot of enemies, and I've never gotten that surrounded. This combination, and it did have orbital fire unmaxed at the time. But even this combination too did it as well, where I think I took half of my health in one hit. I mean, that's no joke right there. Okay, there we go. Let's just get this going. We have the spears. The spears are thankfully able to kill a lot of things around us, and we can just now start positioning ourselves. We have some good times. Let's make them charge slightly to the bottom left, because that is not a bad spot. Now the problem... Oh, there we go. There we go. What do we want? More damage on the spears, of course. We are getting to the point where we're actually going to be able to target the boss. It doesn't matter. We can take hits. we're fine. Slight shift, and we're done. And I'm going to say the spears got the kill because he was above me and a spear hit him, so... Yay, spears! So yeah, that's spears. I'm probably going to label this spears, but, you know, I'm also going to point out that taking insane damage is insane. So, sorry for the longer video, or you're welcome for the longer video if you did enjoy. Either way, I do want to say thank you very much for checking this out, and yeah, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how bad I am because I died for 2 videos in a row. I mean, I can't believe it. I haven't died in basically forever, and now I'm just dying left and right. I think it's just because I'm just so ready for the patch that, you know, I can't contain myself at this point. You know, I'm just getting lax. I'm getting lazy. So I apologize for that as well. But it is great to see that high damage. I mean, when you see your health, you're like, oh, I'm basically fine. Oh, I just took half of my health. Okay, that's a thing. I wasn't taking 4... And that's the thing. You know, these were from enemies that do 4 damage. How did I lose half of my health to enemies that do 4 damage? I don't even know. But it happened. It's great. And, yeah. Them hitboxes. You know, I guess just the hitboxes are so big, I was getting hit from dozens of them. Or a dozen. Well, no, dozens would be 100. So, a dozen, yeah. Or dozens. Okay, I'm babbling. Thank you very much. Like, comment, subscribe, you know, all that good stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Have a wonderful day, and I will catch you next time. Happy hunting, everybody.